¿Vive lejos de aquí?
No, I live near here.
Yeah, I think we've got the right boat now. Jacuzzi. I'm driving in a rather large storm here in the northwestern United States. On my way to have a look at a 1973 Westsail 32. Not the most spry boat, but certainly an ocean cruiser that is safe and sound, assuming it surveys and it's actually sound. But I just thought you'd like to come along and have a look at this boat with me. I am going on an 8-hour drive up to Anacortes, Washington to have a look at this boat and see if this is the boat. This boat doesn't really match all of my criteria, primarily because of where I live. I really only have better opportunities to sail in the river, in the Columbia River. And the Westsail 32 being a very heavy and full keel boat isn't conducive to tight quarters, to many, a lot of tacking or jibing. But I feel as though I definitely want to have a couple or few years with the boat that I want to take offshore to make sure it's sound, to get to know it, its quirks, and so forth. So, anyways, this is a good opportunity. Who knows if it will happen or not? It really depends on what it looks like. This is my first look at it, and it's an awful long way away. So we'll see. You know, oftentimes with a smaller boat, with something that I'm not as concerned with, maybe a boat I'm familiar with, I would probably do a self-survey. You know, the investment wouldn't be as much. I could look at things, take time, but this is a bigger boat with a lot more systems. And the fact is that in order for me to purchase a boat up in the Puget Sound area, I'm going to have to take it around into the Pacific Ocean and back up over the Columbia River bar, up the Columbia River. And because of that, I don't really want to mess around with mistakes that I might make, things that I might miss. So a surveyor, a rigger, and a marine diesel engine mechanic is going to be very important. I want them to have a deep look. I don't mind spending the money in this particular case because I don't want to leave it up in the Puget Sound. And we're coming into the off season already. The eastern North Pacific is stormy, and I don't want to take chances with a boat that isn't well set up for making that journey. I'm in beautiful Anacortes. You don't have much of a view out here, but I'm gonna get some dinner, hang out, and then tomorrow morning I'm gonna go meet the broker. Just driving downtown and found this very interesting park. Oh yeah, it's pretty chilly. You see very few O avenues in the world. This is essentially one block from downtown. Well, there it is. I'm here at what I believe is the boat. This one right here behind me. The thing is that this doesn't look like the boat that I saw in the pictures. All this massive cracking up front is just horrific. Let's assume that's the cockpit drain there. I do have power going up to it. You know, this is not it. I think this is it over here. The Panthalassa. Why didn't I see that? That's so weird. This is the boat. That's got the top gray. How did I miss this? Okay, I think we've got the right boat now. They're both Westsails, but this is definitely the boat that I was seeing. So let's have a look at this here instead. See that? Wow. It's fascinating. It's so fun. Chain plates. Can't see this one as well as you can see that one, but it looks better. Okay, so here's the stem of the boat I'm looking at. It looks a lot better. Huh. Look at this nut they put on here in order to fit this. Oh, it's just weird. It's doing all that great. What is going on here? It's like the boat was upside down or something. What is all this? Engine exhaust. I don't have any idea. What that is. That's a scupper. Huh. Those two, that's very strange, I would say. And you got the self-steering wind vane, which doesn't look like it's... Well, let's go ahead and climb up and see what we can see up here. Okay, so here's my first view aboard, and the surfboard, or rather the stand-up paddleboard that is featured in the video, in the online pictures, remains here. So the lines are all pretty well spent. These covers need desperately some TLC here. I know it's going to be windy, so just bear with me here. Okay. They are swaged, which I don't prefer, but the non-skid looks like it's wearing away, but it seems to be okay. So they mentioned that they this was all coming up a little bit, and they had to go ahead and take care of it to bring it back down. It was delaminating, and they re-laminated it, and the non-skid is missing. It is missing, but it's not a terrible problem, I think. Shore power. This is all for the new Yanmar. One of the things about this boat is that it's say that can be real wet when you're sitting here in the cockpit. All this wood for the boom can looks kind of rough. Just hasn't been no TLC in a long while. Tiniest little Dodger you've ever seen, but it'll keep the water out of the cabin, which is good. No spray hood. See is what you get there. Wind direction. Log and depth missing its cover. And then a nice big Ritchie compass. This is the port side winch. Desperately needs some work. This is the starboard side winch. It also needs some TLC here. I love these heavy-duty acrylic pieces here. Let some more light in. Wow. This one is loose. Oh, I see. I see why it's loose. Oh, this one's loose. Gimbaled stove. Oh, I see. Okay. So this is what they're talking about here. Doesn't leak anymore, but this is badly rotten right here. So you'd have to take it back probably to this corner and then split it, or actually maybe take it all the way over here to the take it over here where it's already split and redo it. I don't know if you'd have to do. Yeah, it's hard to see in this light, but this might be rotten up here too, frankly. Doesn't smell too bad. It's smells like old boat, but not too bad. So, all right, let me go give you a real quick tour. Obviously, the companionway, you come down here. Here's the galley, which is nice and big, and you've got the U-shaped, which is pretty cool. This looks like it's a propane stove with an oven that is gimbaled. You've got pressure washer, probably salt. Maybe fresh up here, salt down here. Here's your nav station, which, yeah, you would just stand at. No quarter berths. Your electrics right here. Old radio, very old radio. Let's see. And you got the starboard side settee here, port side over here. Obviously you've got your pilot berth up this way, a bigger berth here. Same. What kind of this? Looks like a Force 10 propane heater. A Force 10 propane heater. Don't really care for propane much. It's like the tunnel on this is missing, so that's too bad. Let's see, we've got Weems and Plath. Was it a clock and barometer? Overhead lights. Okay, going back into the forward area, we've got drawers and hanging locker, which is virtually empty. Plenty of standing headroom, as you can tell. Oh, here's the here are all the flags. It's very interesting. Okay, so here's the head here. Incense makes a nice nice change. It looks good. Yeah, it looks relatively sizable. There's no. And then going forward into the relatively small V-berth, where they're trying to keep it nice. I wonder if there's any leaking. I don't see any sign of water at all. But okay, so the headliner is starting to fall up here. It's not a very pretty headliner, frankly. What's this? Some sort of ladder. I don't know if that's a boarding ladder or a swim ladder. I'm not sure. And then finally up here in the forepeak, it's probably the anchor locker. Let's see. Yeah, anchor locker. I'm just gonna go ahead and look around a little bit more, poke at the more important things, and see what I can find. Propane switch, bilge pump, GPS radio. All off. That's good. Jacuzzi. I'll show this to you because it's kind of interesting. This thing slide under here. And then what the heck is this? Pretty well insulated from sound. You got the engine back here, and while its initial access is not great, there's a lot of room all around it. Battery. There's the compressor for the fridge. Engine controls. I'm not sure what that is over there. Maybe a water tank, maybe. This plug right here. What is that plug? Oh, it looks like it's the compressor. It's the refrigerator compressor. So, anyways, that's what we got there. Propane monitor and control. Propane monitor and control. Oh, the Trader Joe's spices. Sure if this is water or if this is fuel. I suspect it's water, but the bilge doesn't look bad. I've certainly seen a lot worse. Just looking at this area here. Whatever they did there, I don't know why they did that. It doesn't look great. Those bolts don't look great either. Yeah, so this looks like it's definitely fresh water. Here the gate valves. Something like that was just blocked off with rather large bung. Oh, there's the water. So I wonder how that's getting in. It's been standing there for quite a while. And I opened this up. That was pretty good. I don't see any major issues with water or anything like that. Okay. Oh yeah, this one's rot. That one's rotted. I don't suppose you can get in here easily, can you? That's where the divider is. This looks like that's okay. That's not great. Doesn't look bad. And this is also rotting out. So it's that third one on the starboard, and it's this one. No handholds. Mold. No handholds. Let's go on up and see what we have out. I just want to stand or sit outside and see what it's like to be sitting at the helm here. A windy day, but this is the way it looks from the cockpit. If I'm just sitting down here in the back, there's not a place else. You get the rudder right here by your hand. You've got the sheet winches here and here. No traveler. Oh, this is what they for. Okay, so this actually gets rid of the. They have this to use capillary effect to get rid of the moisture. I was looking at this the forward hatch here and realized it didn't have any pins through what looked like hinges. It's done that way specifically so that you can open it up either forward or aft. No, the wind's howling, so you can't hear too much, but anyways, this interesting thing right here, I don't have an idea what that's for. Looks like it's a fill of some sort. Okay, I'll just confirm that there is no roller furling. There's a boom-footed staysail, but the head sail is not furled. I got confused because this one over here has the foil for the head sail, and pretty sweet because it actually has those the mast steps too. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so 20 of those. And each of them are they're like $50 a piece for those steps, maybe even more. So nice. Just thinking out loud, it would really be nice to have. It would really be nice to have some mast steps to be able to get up there. It's a big boat. Alright, I won't stay much longer because this guy is waiting for me, but it is it's a big boat, and it's maybe a bigger step than I'm wanting to take right now. I don't know, I've got to think about it, but it's fun to just jump all over and find out what's going on here. Hey, well, I'm back to the Challenger 22 and driving all morning, whatnot. The wind is up a little bit, so I may take this out for a ride here, just for an hour and a half, something like that, just to get out and do some sailing. I still have another 3.5 hours to get back to my place, and I suspect I'm going to experience some winter driving up there in the pass. But I'm still on the fence about this boat. Actually, to be clear, I am, regarding the Westsail 32, I suspect that I won't move forward with it. It just puts me in a position I don't want to be in financially. Let me share with you the concerns I do have about it. One, I would have to get a loan to buy the boat. And a loan in and of itself is not a big deal, but unless I give them a lowball and they accept a lowball offer, it doesn't leave a lot of room for me to make changes on the boat, and that's always a big issue. Like, I definitely want to have some spending money to make changes, make improvements, and so forth. That's probably the biggest thing. If the boat was in better condition and I thought they would take a lowball offer, then it'd be fine. The boat's not in bad condition, but for example, the whisker stays on the boat showed a lot of rust. It still looks sound, but there's still a lot of rusting, and that's concerning, so I'd want to replace those. The pintles and gudgeons of the rudder are not they're not stock, they're aftermarket, and while the stock setup or hardware was fiberglass, uses fiberglass, it was pretty well overbuilt as far as I understand, and what they've put in place is what looks to me like 1/4 inch stainless steel straps that they then bolted to the keel and bolted onto the rudder. And that's okay, but I would have preferred something a little bit different, something a little beefier. 1/4 inch, they just seemed like they were putting in lesser than what was there before. On top of that is they used, for each gudgeon, they used 3 bolts, some that go clear through, straight through, some that just screw into the hull, while the originals used 4 each on the hull side. So they are decreasing strength there, and again, with the loan consideration and the fact that I wouldn't have every confidence in that kind of setup, I prefer to forego the purchase of this boat. In addition, I should say, it does need bottom paint. I was prepared to do that. I knew that in advance. Not a big deal. That's part of the consideration. But it also needs new lines. The halyards were left out, and they are looking pretty shoddy. So anyways, there were things that would need to be taken care of immediately, concerns that would be ongoing, the pintle and gudgeons, and frankly, it's a really big boat. When I'm used to sailing this little 22, it's maneuverable, it's easy, it's lightweight. A 10-ton, 11-ton boat is a different story altogether, and I realize that. One of the things that bothers me about this particular Westsail 32 is that it didn't have any cleats midship. It had the mooring bollards up at the bow, and it's got some cleats at the stern, but it didn't have anything amidships. And the problem with that is that I'm trying to warp in or out of a slip, then those kind of things would become invaluable. And so already I'm faced with kind of a boat that might lack the equipment that I need to do what I envision. As small as it is, I'm sure there's a way around it. I'm sure we could manage, but frankly, that would give me, like a newer engine, which this boat has, would give me a good amount of confidence in my ability to use the boat in the way, again, that I envision. So I guess I'm gonna have to pass, and I'll let them know, but it was a good experience, and I'll continue to look. I don't have any problem looking, but I think that the next boat I buy will be going closer to 30 feet, but probably on the lighter build side than the Westsail 32. And just because it becomes more accessible monetarily, and maneuverability, of course. That's a big concern here. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more, please consider subscribing. Thanks a lot. It's not much, but I love being out here.